Hey everybody, thanks for clicking on this video. My name is David Pendleton, and today I'm going to give you a pretty detailed walkthrough for the Safari Sunrise Tournament. Now we're going to focus on Rookie today, and I'm going to show you two different ways to play Rookie. The first one is going to be with advanced clubs. So that walkthrough is going to be for people who have like extra miles, 7 and above. People that have snipers, 8, 9, 10, a Goliath 7 and above. So it's going to be tailored to play this course a little aggressively, all right? And then the second playthrough that I'll give you is going to be for people with mediocre clubs, okay? Still decent clubs, like, an extra mile 5 or 6, maybe a lower level sniper, some people who are using backbones, lower Goliaths, things like that. So, whichever one suits you the best. Again, the first part is going to be advanced. Second part is going to be, with normal clubs. But besides that, if you find this helpful, please subscribe. I appreciate everybody's support. I'm getting some really good comments, some really good feedback as I try to build this channel up. So, thank you for clicking. Thank you for watching. And please subscribe. Let's go ahead and hop right into the advanced. Now, this score right here, this -14, this is actually the non-advanced walkthrough. But I saved all my replays for the advanced walkthrough. So let's go ahead and hop into hole number 1. Hole number 1 is going to be played with a Titan ball, okay? So we switch to the Titan, and this is going to be with an extra mile level 8. And let's back that up for a second so you can see the spin adjustment. That's going to be your spin adjustment right there. So we're going to go for about 5.5 top, and we're going to go as much right side spin as possible. Now this drive is going to be played with 10% elevation. So 5.5 top, full right. And we're stretching our club out until we can see our ball guideline have a good guide onto the fairway. Then we adjust 10%. Now for me, I am not pushing back up to max. But I do pause here to kind of see you how much overpower I'm using. So you can see I've got the bottom of the ball almost to the bottom of the target for overpower. I think that's going to be the best way to play this hole aggressively. Now we fire off a perfect shot. Which gives us a really nice roll through the rough onto the fairway. Now the reason I like going this way on an aggressive playthrough is because look at shot number 2. Shot number 2 is going to give you basically a very easy tailwind. So you're getting basically straight tailwind. We're able to take a shot with our thorn. And I like to use backspin because backspin, for me, I feel like I get better ball control. So what I mean by that is as soon as my ball bounces, like from here, from the fairway to the green, I feel like if I use backspin, I get good control over the ball. Now, when you're playing this way, we're playing this shot with 0 elevation. And it is key to aim just to the left side of the pin. Now, this is the first time that I made this shot today, and I was missing right both times. So this time I moved my target just to the left of the pin, and we'll kind of back that up here, and I'll show you again. Show you where I set up. So right there, see, I'm not directly at the pin. I'm basically on the left edge of the pin. So left side of the cup, and then I was finally able to drop that shot. And then again, no elevation. All right, so let's head on to hole number 2. Now, hole number 2, in my opinion, to make this drive very safe, because in rookie and pro, you're seeing a lot of people go into the bunkers, or they're rolling too fast on that second fairway patch right there, and they're going into the bunkers or the rough. All right, that's going to hurt your ability at getting a very easy eagle. So we're going to use a quarterback, and we're going to make this drive very simple because we don't need distance. Now this is going to be your spin adjustment using a quarterback level 10. Now this is important that the level 10 part, you're going to just use 1 bar of top spin, and you're going to go full right. And then for me, I am putting my red ring here by the rough line. So 1 top, as much right as possible. Get your ball guideline directly onto the fairway. We adjust this shot at 10% elevation and a little bit of right curl. That's it. This is a very safe drive. This is easily going to put you on the fairway without any fear of rolling into the rough or into the sand. But if you have a quarterback level 10, don't use much more than 1 bar of topspin, or else you can roll too far. Now I want to show you shot number 2. Now shot number 2 is with a big dog, so it's very important that you change your bag for quarterback and big dog combination. All you need on this shot is about 1 bar of topspin and a couple bars of left side spin, and you'll use just a little bit of overpower to make this shot. But here I got ripped off by the game. I have perfect internet at home. I have no issues. You know, I was streaming music in the background, nothing shut off. My wife is doing work on her computer and nothing stopped. So I got this reconnect error, and it made me time out all the way down to 0. So unfortunately, the game gave me a birdie on this hole when this is a very easy eagle. But it's just important to know quarterback, big dog. With your big dog, use about 1 bar of top spin, a couple bars of left spin, and just a little bit of overpower, and you're easily on the green with a very simple eagle on this hole. Now, I put in a support ticket. I know they're not going to do anything. My opponent got the eagle. We got forced with the birdie. The game didn't allow me to take any more shots after that. So, you know, I was extremely frustrated with that. But, you know, we hop on to hole number 3. Now, hole number 3, everybody, I think is the easiest hole-in-one to get in the tournament. Now, I was able to get the hole-in-one yesterday during another practice round, but I forgot to save the replay, and then I played too many games on this account afterwards to where the replay was gone. But here's how you do it. This is going to be a rough bump shot, and the reason that I like this is because it doesn't require much spin. Just put a little bit under 2 bars of backspin, and then aim directly at the cup. And you can leave your ball guideline just a little bit short because this green rolls fast. From here, you make a 10% adjustment for your elevation. I'm playing at max distance of my sniper. Now, the only problem here is I was frustrated after that reconnecting error, and I didn't hit perfect. I hit a great left shot. But you can see how consistent this is. Even with a great left, you know, I got very close to dropping that shot. So, you know, I want to give a shout out to my boy Seth, a.k.a. Splash Gordon. He hooked me up with this shot, told me how easy it was, and it is easy, guys. So, you know, that's the way to play it for a really simple hole-in-one. So let's make sure we drop those in the next couple rounds. All right, let's move on to hole number 4. Hole number 4 is nothing special here, but, you know, you see a lot of people going from fairway to fairway. So on this aggressive playthrough, we're going to skip that whole deal. We're going to go with 3 bars of topspin and 3 bars of left side spin. So that's where we need to be. And then from there, I'm just extending my ball guideline to make sure I'm in the middle of the fairway. And I don't use any elevation on this hole. We're getting very, very little wind, so, you know, your elevation difference of 10% or 0% is going to be extremely minimal. The only thing important is you notice right there is after you adjust your elevation, so, you know, I did 0%, but after you adjust your rings, it's very important to push your target back up to max. That way you get the distance that you want on this drive. And then it also requires very little overpower. So I just overpower to the top of the bottom target there. We hit a perfect ball. And you'll see there's no fear of clipping the rough. There's no fear of rolling into the rough on either side or at the top. And look how close we get to the pin here. Now this is going to set us up with a very short second shot. You know, really anytime you get a par 4 and you're able to take a shot from this distance and you get to use, you know, your wedge, you're in a really good position. But you know, we're playing this one max distance of our Endbringer and just a little bit of backspin for ball control again. And we're just aiming this directly at the pin. You know, no elevation needed. Play it at 0%. Play at max distance. Aim directly at the pin. And it's a super easy drop. Okay, so now we're going to go into hole number 5. Now, hole number 5, I've tried playing this one a couple different ways. And you can play it, you know, with whatever long iron you want to. I chose the Grizzly today. The Grizzly was my first attempt at playing it this way, just for the accuracy standpoint. So I just wanted to see how it would play. And I think it's going to overall be a pretty good shot. We're going to play this one mid-distance. Now, I settled on 1 bar of backspin. And I leave this one short because the green rolls pretty fast. But the thing to pay attention to is look at my second bounces just beyond the fringe. So I think that's important for a landmark. And I've got the orange ring here right along the rough line there to the left. So that's what I'm going to settle on from here on out. I'm going to keep this shot because I like the way that it rolled. And I played it mid-distance. So the only thing that I'm going to tweak here is my landing spot. So we just missed that one to the right-hand side. I'm just going to move over to the left a little bit, and I think we're going to pick up the hole-in-one there. Now, assuming that I do get the hole-in-one and I find it consistent, I'll update a hole-in-one rookie guide. So now we'll move on to hole number 6. Hole number 6 is going to be another par 5. Par 5, and I think it's, you know, the second best chance for an albatross in rookie. So full top, 2 left spin, that's what we're doing. And we're going to move our target over here till we're basically in the middle of the fairway. %, elevation on the drive. And then all you have to do here is just take a normal shot. You get plenty of distance. And this drive is very simple, and it sets up an awesome line for an albatross opportunity. Okay, so before I get into the second shot, we need to try to dial in the albatross. Now, this was my 3rd attempt at this shot because I played it Monday and Tuesday. Now, Monday, I hit a great shot, so I wasn't really able to figure out how to dial it in from there, right? Because you need to hit perfect. Now, yesterday, I hit a perfect shot. I used the exact same spin that I'm going to use today, and I rolled around the cup and barely missed the albatross. So today I wanted to make sure that wasn't a fluke, so I did the exact same thing, and let's take a look what happens. So we're playing this at max distance of our Goliath, and this shot is at 0 elevation. I use 3 bars of backspin, and I'm basically aiming directly at the pin. So right in the middle, directly at the pin. This was nearly identical distance and an identical shot to what I did yesterday, to where I just missed the albatross. So today I struck a perfect ball again. And the exact same thing happened. So that's what happened yesterday too. The exact same roll around the cup. So what we're going to do is we're going to add elevation to this shot. We're going to add 10% to this shot. That's going to force us to pull our rings more to the right, which is going to line this shot out on the bounce. So we're going to move this to 10% elevation, and we should be able to get that drop. Hole number 7. Now, a lot of people are struggling on hole number 7. I've already seen a couple opponents go into the sand, and then I saw one person roll way past the green into the rough. So don't fear this hole. This hole is played at 30% elevation. And let's take a look at where I am. Oh, I hate when it does that. Let's take a look at where I end up putting my landmarks. So right here, I go with like a little bit more than 1 bar of backspin and 1 bar of right spin. Now, unfortunately, today was the only day I was able to hit perfect on this stupid hole. But I've got the yellow ring on the rough line, so let's take a look at that. So yellow ring is in the corner rough. And then I'm playing this one at max distance of my Goliath, even though we're not max, with a 30% elevation adjustment. We almost sneak it in. So what are we going to do differently? So as you're heading into your next rounds, you know, if that's what you decide, if that's how you decide to play this hole, all we're going to do is add a little bit more backspin. So we're gonna aim the exact same way. We're going to add a little bit more backspin, so maybe 2 bars of backspin to slow the ball down. And then we're only going to do 1/2 of a bar of right spin. And that's going to line us out and put us right at the cup. Hole number 8. Let's talk about this one for a second, because you have to get the eagle on this hole in order to win the tournament. So as a matter of fact, I think you need to get hole number 1. We need to get hole number 4. And we need to get hole number 8. All right. If we drop those 3 shots and we play everything else normal, that puts us at a -15. Now, the good news is we're going to get a couple hole-in-ones along the way as well. So we should end up with a very high score. But this shot you have to get down in order to even give yourself a chance at competing for the tournament. So just know we're going to go full top spin. All right, we're going to go about 2.5 bars of right side spin. We're going to do 10% elevation with a Titan. And then we're going to push our target back up to max. And then we're going to use just a little bit of overpower after that. So let's walk through this real quick. So that right there, that's your spin adjustment. Full top, 2.5 right. We're putting our ball guideline directly in the middle of the fairway there. Make your adjustment, push back up to max. This is all the overpower you need, just a little bit. You strike a perfect ball, and this ball's going to roll onto the green. Now, we could gamble a little bit, all right? So this is how I've played this hole every time, and we're coming into the right-hand side of the cup, right? So if you want to, you could take that right side spin off, and you may be able to dial in a hole-in-one on this hole. I don't feel that it's super important to do that, but it would obviously give you a huge advantage. So I'm going to play it this way every time with a full top and 2.5 right. But, you know, if you want to, you could take that right spin off and see how close you can get to a hole-in-one on this hole. All right, we're going to head into hole number 9. Hole number 9 gives us another great opportunity at an albatross, and I think it's the easiest albatross opportunity on rookie. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We'll pause this for a second. All we're doing on hole number 9, everybody, is we're going to go full top. You can go 1 or 2 right bars of side spin. The important part is to make sure you end up in the middle or right-hand part of the fairway. We're not going to adjust rings at all. So we're just going to take our shot with about half of the ball at the bottom of the target for overpower. So we get us a nice little shot here. So we come into the middle part of the fairway. You can even go more to the right if you want, but this is a great opportunity right here for the albatross. So from here, today, unfortunately, was the only day I was able to strike a perfect ball on this rough bump shot. But I did learn a little bit. I went with absolutely no spin adjustment. I aimed directly into the pin and minus 10% elevation on this shot. So minus 10. Took a normal shot, hit perfect. And we come in just to the right-hand part of this. So there's a couple different ways we can go to fix that. All right, so we could play it at minimum distance of our sniper, which makes us pull less rings, which is what I'm going to try to do tomorrow. So either way, we're very close to the albatross on this hole. Now that was a little bit more of an aggressive playthrough. That's a minus 15 round right there with no holes in ones and no albatrosses. So we have a ton to build on. If you can get minus 15, you know, like I said, again, minus 15 with no hole in ones and no albatrosses, you're in a very, very good position to win the tournament. All we have to do is get a couple more drops on top of that, and we're golden. Now, we're going to head into our second walkthrough here. And again, this is going to be a less aggressive path. This is going to be with just normal clubs. And this one we shot minus 14. But let's go ahead and hop right into the replays here. So hole number 1, if you're not playing aggressive, I want you to go with a quarterback. I think a quarterback is going to make this drive the easiest and give you the most accuracy. And what we're going to do is we're going to play at 10% with a navigator. So, you know, when we played aggressive, we went on the left-hand side here with a Titan. But this is an easy way to play it with a quarterback, well, with any quarterback, but I have a quarterback 8 on this account. And all you need to do, 3 top spin, as much right spin as possible. Put your ball guideline right here on the middle of the fairway. And for me, I put my white ring right there on the top of the rough line. Just gives me a landmark. It keeps all my drives consistent.
Perfect shot.
Hit a perfect ball. Okay, really easy. Now from here, we're going to play shot number 2 with 10% elevation. I think that's important to note. So shot number 2, when you're coming from this angle, you're going to play at 10% elevation. I like to use a Goliath. It's the club that I use the most. You need to play with whatever you're most comfortable with. So the thing you need to know here is this is pretty much a straight shot. You're getting a little bit of tailwind mixed with right crosswind. So I went with a couple bars of backspin again because it gives me ball control. I leave my ball guideline short of the pin, as you can see, because you don't have a fully developed ball guideline, with most of your long irons.
Great shot.
We did our 10% elevation adjustment, and unfortunately I hit a great shot to the right.
Nice on.
Or to the left. Now, hole number 2. We're going to play this the exact same way that we played it on the aggressive playthrough, all right? This is not a hole where I would say this is an albatross opportunity. We're just taking this for the easy eagle. We will be using our quarterback again. So quarterback hole 1, quarterback hole 2. Now, if you have a quarterback level 8, you can actually use 2 bars of topspin and full right spin. With the quarterback level 10, you're going to want to tame that down to only use 1 bar of topspin. I'm keeping my orange ring right here on the rough line. We're adjusting shot number 1 at 10% elevation with no overpower.
Perfect shot.
Now from here, it's going to take us into shot number 2. So make sure you have your big dog. The big dog is very important. And what's also important is to know this is a 20% elevation shot. So make sure you adjust for 20% elevation. And this is what I was trying to show you earlier, on the other playthrough. But the game made me reconnect and time out. But the shots pretty much played the same. Just a little bit of top spin. A couple bars of left side spin. So you can see there that second bounce has us away from the rough line, which is important. And if you have that kind of a ball guideline, you could even reduce this to about half of a bar of top spin. But either way, I like to be a little safe and make sure that I don't come anywhere close to that sand or that rough. And again, I'm just taking this as an eagle. That's all I need is an eagle on this hole.
Nice on.
Easy putt, take the eagle, and then we go into hole number 3. Okay, here's what I want to talk about on hole number 3. Hole number 3, I do have a sniper on this account. It's a sniper 8. I will be playing the rough bump as I showed you in the previous walkthrough. Now, for people who don't have that, I wanted to show another shot at 10% elevation by using a katana with full right spin and our blue ring at the rough line. The only thing we need to change on this shot is the backspin. So if you're going to play it this way, you're going to play it about medium distance of your sniper. And the first thing to do is to go full right. And as you can see on this one, I only went with about 1.5 bars of backspin. And I do leave the ball guideline pretty much at the pin, with a little bit of my blue ring at the rough line. But I wanted to show it this way as well, in case people don't want to get risky with the rough bump, because if you hit a great right on the rough bump, you will probably end up in the sand or close to it. But as you can see, you can get yourself very close to the hole-in-one, even playing it that far back. Now, the only thing I did is I came in too hot. Obviously, the ball had too much steam on it. So all I would do to change that shot is 2 bars of backspin instead of 1.5. That'll slow us down. And assuming we hit a perfect ball again, that ball would have been a hole-in-one with more backspin. But it just came in a little bit too fast, which made us hop on, roll right onto the cup and past it. Now we go into hole number 4. Hole number 4 is one of those holes we have to pick up the eagle on in order to compete, just because it's simply such a short par 4. I'm playing this with a Navigator, again, because this is going to be a ball that a lot of people have. So a Navigator, and we're going to play it with no elevation. And to keep it safe, we're going to go from fairway to fairway. I'm showing you here, you can go for this shot if you want and get further up the fairway. But again, this is a non-aggressive playthrough. I'm going to put my yellow ring at the rough line, full top spin, full left. No elevation needed on this shot. And you do not want to use overpower if you're playing this shot either, because if you hit this ball slightly too far, you're going to end up in the sand. As you can see, we get a very good balance. We end up dead center of the fairway, leaving us for a very good opportunity for the eagle. And you saw whenever we played it more aggressively, we were able to take a shot with our wedge, with the end-bringer. Now on this one, we're a little bit further back, so it's going to be a thorn shot. Pretty much medium distance of your thorn. Now this is a thorn, only level 5, so I don't have a very good ball guideline. So I'm using a couple bars of backspin, and I'm making sure that I'm aiming directly into the cup. Also using no elevation on this shot.
Great shot.
Then hit a great right. Now, you'll notice that I played this account. I did not get the eagle on hole 1 or hole number 4 yet, and we were still able to shoot a -14, so we're leaving a lot of shots out there. Now, the thing with this one is I knew I wasn't going to have a lot of time to play all my accounts throughout the week, so I shot this account on Monday, so this is only one attempt, and we still went -14 on it by leaving some shots out there. But, hit a great shot there. If I'd have hit perfect, it would have definitely been in the cup, but perfect is always the key, right? Hole number 5, we're going to be using a Navigator. We're going to be doing 0 elevation on this shot. And we're basically going to be using a little bit of backspin, and we're going to be aiming directly at the pin. Now, my last playthrough, you saw me use a Grizzly. And again, this is my shot on Monday, so I'm kind of just moving my ball around here, my target, trying to see what angles I have, trying to see, do I have a rough bump? Do I have any options like that? But ultimately, I settle right here with my yellow ring at the rough line. This green rolls fast, so make sure you use your backspin. I went with exactly 1 bar of backspin, just as a test, just to see what happens. Mid-distance of the Goliath with no elevation.
Perfect shot.
We did get the perfect ball.
Nice on.
And we come in close again. So if you're playing this one the same way, all you really need to do is aim directly like I did. So once you have your 1 backspin and you aim directly at the pin, all I want you to do is add about half of a bar to 1 bar of left side spin. Your ball guideline won't show at the pin anymore, but that's okay, because with the way the green rolls, it'll straighten you back into the cup. And again, as I play my next rounds tomorrow and Friday, once I start hitting these hole-in-ones, assuming I hit hole-in-ones like I think I will, come back and visit my channel because I will update the par 3s to hole-in-ones and show you how to play them. All right. Let's head into hole number 6 here. Hole number 6 is a par 5, and hole number 6 and hole number 9 are very good albatross opportunities. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to play with a Titan. We're going to play 10% elevation. We're going to stretch our club up to visualize our ball guideline. We're going to go with 3 bars of topspin. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to go with full topspin and 3 bars of right side spin. Misread my notes. 10% elevation. And then push back up to max. Very important to push back up to max so you get that distance. And then from here, we're using just a little bit of overpower. I mean, just a baby amount of overpower. That keeps our needle speed good. Gets the distance we need. Now, shot number 2. Shot number 2, we are going to be using no elevation. We're going to play at max of our Goliath. And again, for ball control, we're going to use a couple bars of back side spin, and we're going to aim right at the pin. I do want to change this, though, to 2.5 bars of backspin, and you're going to see why. So max distance of our Goliath, as you can see. I went with 2 bars of backspin. And I'm aiming directly at the hole here, so, making sure that last bounce has a ball guideline aiming into the pin. You can see right there. No elevation, max distance of the Goliath.
Perfect shot. Albatross.
And we drop it in the hole for an albatross. Now, I think that is not easily repeatable because the ball bounced into the back part of the cup. I will be changing that from 2 bars of backspin to 2.5 bars of backspin. We had a very easy roll. We're not going to have any fears of coming in short. I just want to slow the ball down a little bit to make sure that shot's very consistent. So I update my notes to 2.5 bars of backspin, but 0 elevation, max distance of the Goliath, and the exact same adjustment. All right. Let's head into hole number 7. Hole number 7 is the one everybody's having a lot of problems with. So first thing to know is we're just going to use a navigator. We're going to go 30% elevation. And a hole-in-one is great, but we're not going to gamble too much on this hole. We're going to take it for a birdie. And as the tournament progresses, we'll see if we can get closer to a hole-in-one, but I don't want to gamble too much with the shot. So I end up playing this one with max distance of my Goliath. But I want everybody to change this to a navigator. And as a matter of fact, I just want you to go back and watch the aggressive playthrough and play it that way. Again, this was played on Monday. The only time I played this account. So this was my first attempt at this hole. And I used a Quasar because I thought maybe I need a little bit more side spin because we were getting, a left crosswind on this shot. But at the end of the day, I did not need that side spin. I switched this over to a navigator,
Nice on.
and we came in much closer than this shot. But either way, this is a very simple birdie. Don't overcomplicate this hole. But I do want you to go back and play it the same way I did on the first playthrough, because we're much closer to a hole-in-one on that one. Now, hole number 8. Remember, everybody, hole number 8 is the one that you have to get an eagle on if you want to win this tournament. For anybody playing like I am with an extra mile 6 or below, this is the opportunity for you to use a berserker. Now, on the aggressive playthrough, if you have a better driver, you saw that I was able to take a very simple shot with a Titan. But, again, I played this on Monday. I only have an extra mile level 6. And I wanted to make sure that I had the right distance, so I used a berserker. Full top spin. I use the exact same amount of right side spin that we did with the Titan. 10% adjustment on the rings, and then push back up to max. We're going to use a little bit of overpower, not a lot, just a little bit.
Shot.
And you could even use less than that. Because you see here, we get plenty of distance.
Nice on.
Easily roll onto the green, and that's obviously the very, very simple eagle. All right, last hole, guys. Hole number 9. Hole number 9, we're using a Titan. We're playing this the same way, aggressive and non-aggressive. We're going full top. We're going 3 bars of right spin, and we are not even adjusting rings. We're just taking the shot for what it is. Full top, 3 right. Put my orange ring on the rough line. Basically, the ball guidelines right in the middle of the fairway. Again, using just a little bit of overpower. All right, about half my ball through the bottom target.
Great shot.
A great shot to the left is no big deal. We have plenty of fairway to work with. And then we move on to our final shot. This hole is a very simple eagle, everybody. Don't overcomplicate it. You know, as you saw in the previous playthrough, very close. That's not us. What did I do there? Oh, that is us. So I went with the, yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot to switch my bag, and I had a shot with the big dog. I was able to easily save the eagle. Don't take it with the big dog. Take it with the sniper, and just refer back to hole 9 of the aggressive playthrough, because this played the same way, aggressive and non-aggressive. It's an easy rough bump shot. Take it at minus 10% elevation, and you're going to get yourself in a really good opportunity to drop that albatross. I hope you